Yo, what is going on? It is Monday, October 6th, 7:10 p.m. And today I made $0, taking zero trades. Third day in a row of no trades. And let's get into that. Why I took no trades. Coming into the day, obviously, it's a no news Monday. Yellow folder, don't really care about that too much. We were actually sitting right at all-time highs. I don't really need to show you more time frames because this is enough to show why I'm going to be bullish. Sitting at all-time highs, had re-inversed this 15-minute after tagging down into here and respecting it. But right at market open, what do? We shoot down, inversing here, inversing here, inversing here. So because it inversed so much and it was such strong displacement, and another thing that I had was this London low. It caught my attention to want to be biased towards shorts. It displayed strongly, and I wanted to see a reaction. We had this 1 hour gap below, which I wanted to use as like a pinnacle point to see what our reaction was going to be. Now, out of this 1 hour, we let me get over here so you can see ES2 because this played a factor today. Off of this 1 hour, we were dumping down like really strong, and we had came back up on both indexes. But as you can see, right here is when ES took that London low. And also, when ES took that London low, we had this SMT with London. Look how far we were from it. We were very far from it. I believe this also was delivering from a 4 hour gap. It might have been. From this 4 hour gap. So what does this trade have as far as what we needed? Let me mark it out before we get a little bit further into it for anyone that is confused, or even if I'm confused myself when I watch this down the line. I'm not going to lie, I would have had my stop here, targeting here. So it would have been a 3RR trade, would have had my stop at the body because this is a long-ass wick. Really long wick. I definitely would have de-risked, or if not, I would have had it at, like, CE of the wick. But I feel like I would have had it here. Still would have gotten full stopped out. But this trade was a 1 minute inverse for value gap. It was a low time frame SMT in here, a high time frame SMT with that London low. Respecting a 1 hour, respecting a 4 hour, and it would have been just based off of anticipation of bullish order flow and hoping on that 1050 macro to deliver while being near all-time highs. Why didn't I like this? I felt as though we were just in pure bearish order flow for the day. It was the moment that we did this to the 15-minute and we started respecting these, like we were respecting this 15-minute, I actually was more intrigued to take this short, which would have went break even. Would it have? No, I wouldn't have even taken this short. I was actually more intrigued to look for this short off of the 5 minute, which was the break even point of this trade, than this trade itself. Because I felt as though us shooting down that much on the 15-minute gave bearish indication. And look at all this. We were chopping around for a while. We had just a sell-off and then more chop. I one, don't want to trade chop. And I, two, was leaning still bearish as ES was decently ripping down. Like it was, at this point it was shooting back up, but it still gave me bearish indication because we had taken that London low. And I figured, the NASDAQ probably, then Q would have probably wanted to follow behind and go hunt that low. But it never did. So that's why I took no trades. Another trade that I was looking at was I have this one account that ends the 11th and I already canceled like the payment. So I'm just going to send it on one trade. I wanted to get a continuation. So with this continuation, I seen, okay, cool. We flipped. This trade got stopped out. Barely just stopped out, and then it starts shooting back up. We left a 5 minute gap here. So I'm thinking, okay, cool. Time for a continuation model. We're still in a discounted part of the leg, and I'm just going to target this buy side right here. I'm going to risk a lot on this account because, it's about to leave. Like, the account's 1,000 in drawdown, and the passing point's 3,000. So I would have needed to make $4,000. Would have probably hunted like $2 to $3,000 on this trade, taking 1 or 2 contracts. But enough of that. Enough of me rambling on that. I wanted to see us tag into this 5 minute, which we bullshitted around once we made it. And then we got the perfect inverse. Had we smacked this inverse within one of these 3 candles right here, like had we gotten the inverse, I'm for sure taking it. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm sorry. 7 candles to go up and to inverse it. And at that, did it even inverse it? Like, was it to the tick? To inverse it to, yeah. So basically 8 candles to actually inverse it. Yeah, no. And would have gone, no, I wouldn't have even gotten tagged in. So yeah, this wouldn't have even been an entry. No, I would have market ordered. But it would have went break even. So yeah, It wouldn't have even been successful. And then the rest of the day, we made new all-time highs, chopped, shot back up. So essentially, my draw on the day was wrong. I still was like neutral in a way, but I was leaning towards taking that London low. But it was wrong. We ended up just shooting back up to all-time highs. And now it's looking like we're going to come down and overnight take out that London low, possibly with this downtrend that we're forming now. So, yeah, that was today for me. Honestly, it was just seeing chop and seeing that we essentially were having decent bearish order flow. I wasn't going to go against it, especially not the way that price has been moving recently. And, yeah, I believe that this still is a solid trade. Like, as far as a reversal goes, this is the setup that I'd be looking for. And it has a great break-even point in that 5 minute above. And, yeah, I mean, I didn't care for it. It wasn't something that caught my eye. I was leaning towards short still. These longs never caught my attention. And that's okay because why? I'm my own trader. Like, this is the way I think. This is the way I was kind of like developed to think. Yeah, I learned from ground one from Will and Steez, and this is a trade Will took. Yo, Steez, get better. Get better. Like, he was feeling sick, so I feel better, my guy. Like, this trade has great displacement, great everything. I just didn't like the parts outside of it, and that's okay because that's my own discretion. That's what I've built. And look what happened. Break even. Now, my draw was wrong, but my ability to stay out of this trade wasn't. So I'm not mad at it, bro, whatsoever. Break even isn't a loss, but I just, I do want to improve on the part where, my draw was wrong. I do have to work on that, getting my draw correct. This was just a perfect pinnacle of the reversal point. This was the low of day, and it just started flying back up from there. So had this not gone break even, they would have caught low of day. And I probably would have looked for a continuation model if it was still pumping. Oh, no, it was 11. Never mind. I'm chatting. I'm bullshitting. So that was my day today. Short, easy, simple. No trades. Hopefully tomorrow when we had no news Tuesday, but at least it's a Tuesday. So, yeah, I'm just going to continue to trade on eval. I'm not too tempted to trade on funded with the way price has been, this whole shutdown shit and how news is always tentative and all that. I'm just going to continue to try to pass a couple evals. Maybe I get a good trade tomorrow and I'm able to just fully send that one account. Who knows? We'll find out tomorrow. Find out tomorrow on the next episode of What Will He Trade? But, no, yeah. That's all I got today. Day of no trades. Just got to work on making sure my draw is correct. It's not going to be correct every day, unfortunately, but today was just one of those days my draw was wrong. And that's probably an L on the day, essentially. Just want to get that draw right. But, yeah, enough rambling. Not much more to say. I'm just bullshitting at this point. Yeah. Be great. Tomorrow we have LeBron with that decision. And if my king retires, I'm going to just leave it at that, bro. Catch you tomorrow. I'll catch you tomorrow. Fuck.